We keep moving for a while. Eventually, I see Natsuki turn away from us and sit down. We finally stop moving.
Monica, can't you tell? Her bio is here. I know it is.
Sayori, you have to be quiet. Otherwise, you're going to be the one explaining to Natsuki what all is going on here.
That's fine. I just want everyone back.
Does she think that explanation won't include her own part in all of this? How do I respond? I'm just being careful. Sayori, I'm just being careful. Everyone is on edge. The last thing we need is to have to explain what's happening and our roles in it. How do you think Natsuki would take that right now?
You're right. I'm sorry, Monica. I just got so excited. All I want is for everyone to be together again.
I know, and that's what we're doing, right? We've just got to be careful. She nods. I see that look of concentration on her face again. I find myself smiling a bit. Despite it all, Sayori somehow still manages to cheer me up. I shouldn't have hurt her like that. Stop it. There's time for that later. I see Sayori start to focus harder, and I do the same. It hurts, badly, even worse than Natsuki did. I instinctively grab Sayori's shoulder to steady myself. She doesn't even seem to notice. Thankfully, before too long, we see a shadow begin to take shape. Not too much later, and Yuri is laying on the ground in front of us. We break our ritual, gasping for breath. I'm holding my head with both hands. Sayori's eyes are closed, and she's leaning over with her hands on her knees. As I glance down, I notice something else that's concerning. Yuri's there, and she's breathing, but she's not awake, and she's not moving. Sayori?
Yeah?
Yuri's not moving.
What?
She immediately bends down and starts shaking Yuri.
Yuri? Wake up, silly! It's me, Sayori! Yuri? Monica?
Sayori looks up at me, tears welling in her eyes. Hey, she's gonna be fine. You said yourself her code was in bad shape. We've just got to... Got to what, Monica? What are you gonna tell her? Well, let her rest and see what we can do. It doesn't really seem to work, but she nods anyways. We pick Yuri up and carry her back, placing her down in front of Natsuki.
Yuri! Sayori, why is she asleep? I don't know. I found her like this.
I shoot a worried glance at Sayori. Maybe Yuri's code really did get that messed up. That would be very, very bad.
Okay, so wake her up. I tried, Natsuki. Something's wrong with her. Well, we've got to do something.
What do you propose?
I don't... Ugh, whatever.
Natsuki storms off and sits down away from us. Sayori and I shoot a worried glance at each other. I don't know what we're going to do. This is bad. I see Sayori walk over to Natsuki and sit down beside her. I hear them start talking, but I can't really hear what they're saying. I don't really know what I should do. I'm not used to feeling this indecisive. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Is it because the game is broken? Is it affecting me more than I realized? No, it definitely feels like something else. I don't feel like I have full control anymore. And not just of the game either, of myself. After all, I apparently blacked out on the way here. Something's happening, but I don't have time to deal with it. There's even bigger things going on. Right now I have to deal with the situation at hand. What do I do?
Let's go talk to them, since Yuri's kind of like catatonic.
I decide to head over to where Sayori and Natsuki are talking. Maybe I can help calm things down.
Natsuki, we can figure this out. We just have to... There's something you guys aren't telling me. I want to know what it is. Natsuki, we don't know any more than you do.
Sayori looks like she's struggling. I don't think she likes lying like this.
Likes lying like this. My goodness.
Natsuki. They both jump a little bit at my approach. I guess they didn't notice me coming over. I just wanted to see how you're doing.
I know you're hiding something. You guys have been acting weird since I found you. Actually, we found you. See, that's what I mean. You keep saying that, but I know I found you. Everything was dark, then I was here, and I looked around and I saw you two passed out. And then everything with Yuri. You found her. She wasn't even there.
Sayori's going quiet. She's usually good at defusing these situations. Then again, Natsuki was rarely angry at her. It was usually me or Yuri. Natsuki. What should I say?
Just Stay out. No. Let's see. We're trying to figure it out. Like, this is the honest answer, really.
Natsuki, there's clearly a lot going on right now. We're just trying to figure everything out.
So I don't get to be involved? Natsuki, that's not what she's saying. That's what it sounds like.
I don't think I'm going to get through to Natsuki right now. Sayori looks appreciative, at least.
Look, if you're not going to tell me what's going on, then you can leave.
I let out a sigh. Yeah, this isn't working.
Pardon me.
Sayori gives me a small smile.
Thanks for trying, Monica. I'll stay here with her. Can you check on Yuri?
I glance back over where Yuri is still laying. Yeah, sure. I walk over to Yuri and kneel down beside her. Yuri is laying on the ground. She's taking short breaths and her eyes are closed. She looks peaceful. I wouldn't be so concerned if it weren't for the circumstances around us. Yuri? I shake her gently. Still no response. Come on, Yuri. She's not gonna wake up. Not on her own. I'm gonna have to use the console again. I don't know how much more I can do this. How many more uses can it take? How many more can I take? All right, Monica. You can do this. I take a deep breath and get started. I close my eyes and try to reach out. My head immediately starts pounding. Is this... I'm looking at Yuri's file. It's all jumbled up. This must be how it looked from the outside. Where do I even begin with this? I can't just start messing with things. I could break her file. Or maybe even worse. I start trying to piece together as much of the code as I can. It's a mess. Things are fragmented. Her code is all over the place. I think I'm making progress, but it's painful. The pounding in my head is only getting more and more severe. The console doesn't feel like it's doing much better. I've got a bad feeling about this. I can feel my hands shaking. My breathing is shallow. I know I'm doing something right. Her code is starting to come together. But the pain is getting more intense. I keep working despite it. Finally, everything seems to click. Back in the world, I can hear Yuri begin to stir. Monica? Time to leave the console, thank God. I go to close the console. Everything goes black. It feels like my head is about to explode. All the pain bursts out of my head. I feel myself collapse. Off at the distance, I hear Sayori cry out in pain.
Sayori? What's happening?
Sayori, Natsuki. I hear them scrambling around. Natsuki is calling out to Sayori, who just keeps crying out. Yuri is stirring. I can only imagine her confusion. I try to stay with it, but I can't keep myself together. I begin to fade out of consciousness. I'm shaken awake this time. Whoever it is, they're a lot more gentle than Natsuki.
Gentler is the word you want there.
Monica, are you okay? I see Yuri standing above me. Thank God she's okay. Yuri. I gotta stand up. My head begins screaming. I nearly faint again. Monica, please don't rush. You're clearly ill. You need to rest. Much like Natsuki did, she reaches her hand out and gently pulls me up so I'm sitting on the ground. I'm sorry if I snapped at you, Monica. I'm just concerned. Everything is very strange right now. I have no idea where we are. You are unconscious, and Sayori seems ill as well. And whatever this strange fog around us is, I can't see anything through it. Yuri, it's okay, really. I'm just glad to see you. Oh. Do you know where we are? Or what happened? I don't remember much after leaving the literature club. No, I have no idea where we are. Sayori and I came looking for you and Natsuki. We came from her house, but now we can't find it. It's like it all just disappeared. That's very concerning. Still, at least you're doing better now. I'm feeling better now, yeah. Thank you, Yuri. Of course. Off in the distance, Sayori seems to have settled down as well. Did you mention Natsuki earlier? Is she here? Yeah, I did. She's over with Sayori. Oh, I suppose in my concern I didn't notice. The two of them begin to walk over to join us. Sayori still looks like she's in pain, but she has a smile on her face seeing Yuri. I see Natsuki trying to hide her excitement as well. She's not succeeding. Speak of the devil.
Yuri, you're awake.
Yes, I am. It's good to see you, Sayori. And you as well, Natsuki.
Yeah, you too. Glad you're not dead or anything.
So am I. Yuri lets out a small laugh. After a second, Natsuki responds with a chuckle of her own. Sayori and I join in the laughter, but we're looking straight at each other. Her eyes are filled with concern. Whatever just happened with the console, she felt it as well. We won't be using it again anytime soon, that's for sure. I won't, at least. As nice as it is to see all of you, I still have no idea what's happening. Natsuki, Sayori, do either of you know?
No, I have no idea, and these two won't say a thing. Natsuki, we don't know any more than you do.
Sayori is staring right at me with pleading eyes. I can tell she wants to tell them. Now would be a terrible time, but I can tell we can't keep this up much longer. Natsuki is either too curious or too stubborn to let it go. Probably both. I sigh, rubbing my temples in frustration. After a minute, I look Natsuki straight in the face. Natsuki, listen to me. Well, moment of truth. I know I can't tell them now. Yuri just got here. She needs a minute. We all do. But now I have to decide if I admit to her that we know something or not. Sayori's staring at me with a mix of fear and hope. I know she wants me to tell them. The question is, do I? Should I admit it?
Tell her to drop it. Say that you'll explain everything once everyone rests. I mean, you've got to anyway, so yes.
Look, Natsuki, you're right, okay? You're right. We do have some idea of what's happening. Not as much as you think we know, but it's something.
Aha! I knew it!
But Natsuki, listen to me, seriously. It's not good news, okay? It's going to be hard to explain, and even harder for you to accept. And now's just not a good time, okay? Let everyone take a second to rest, and just be happy to see each other again. And then we'll tell you, okay? At first I see Natsuki with that trademark look of smugness on her face. Hearing me admit that she was right, I don't know what I expected. But as she sees how serious my expression is, her own look changes. She starts to look a little worried. Join the club, Natsuki.
Well, at least I got you to admit it. Is it really that bad?
Sayori and I both nod. I'm as curious to how you both know something and we don't. How long have you two been out here?
It's been a while.
Everyone's faces drop, rather. An awkward quiet falls over us. Normally, Sayori would be the one to step in with a silly remark or a cheery speech to raise the mood. But now that her initial happiness about me being honest has worn off, she looks more afraid than anyone.
Why did I read that as anymore?
Maybe it's guilt over her role in all this. Maybe it's fear over how the others will react, or anxiety about whether or not they'll even believe us. That's a serious concern of my own. I guess it's up to me to salvage this. Hey, there'll be time for that later, right? Right now, we're all back together. Lift your club. Maybe not exactly how it used to be, but with us here, it's exactly how it needs to be. Not exactly. There's one person missing. You guys always talked about how the club made you feel safer and more comfortable. That doesn't need to change now. We're all here. We're still the club. As long as we've got each other. I force the words to come out. At this point, they're as much for me as the others. We'll be okay. To my surprise, that little speech seems to have worked. They still look anxious, but not as bad as before.
I think you're right, Monica. We've got each other. That should be enough. That speech was so cheesy, but it was kind of nice.
I will admit, having you all here does make me feel a bit better. See? It's gonna be fine. I hope. Why don't we all sit for a second? I'll take a rest and then we can come back to this. That sounds like an excellent idea. We all walk over and sit in a circle. No one talks for a while. We just sit and rest. Sayori looks like she's dozing off. I don't blame her. With all the stress that's been on our heads, I wouldn't mind a nap. If I thought I could sleep right now, that is. Yuri is staring up into space. She has that same thoughtful expression on her face. I can't read it very well, but at least she doesn't look scared. Natsuki keeps fidgeting. She waves her hands back and forth through the fog, which doesn't seem to react to her emotions. Every once in a while she sighs or grumbles to herself. She's definitely still on edge, but at least she's letting it go, for now. We all sit there for a bit. Eventually Sayori sits up straight and looks at everyone. Yes, Sayori.
Does everyone still have their book bags? Yeah.
I glanced down and realized I've been carrying mine this whole time. I've been so preoccupied I didn't even notice.
Okay, well, we're all stressed out, right?
Everyone nods.
Let's write poems.
Everyone stares at Sayori.
Sayori, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I don't really get why we do that, Sayori.
Everybody's a little on edge. It might be good to get our thoughts out. You always told us the writing can be cathartic, Monica.
That's true.
And besides, I think we could all use a little bit of normal right now. Come on, you guys.
I actually think it sounds like a nice idea. It would be good to get my thoughts out right now. I guess it couldn't hurt.
It still sounds dumb to me, but I guess it's better than sitting here doing nothing. Thanks, guys. I promise you'll feel better afterwards.
With that, everyone gets to work. I have to admit, I thought Sayori's idea was pretty silly at first, but it's strangely therapeutic. I have a lot on my mind right now, and not just the obvious situation either. I can't shake the feeling that something is wrong with me, but I can't place what. I just feel different somehow. Might as well put these feelings on paper, I suppose. Alright, time to get to work. Why am I at this screen? I know how to write a poem. I'm not...
Oh, so we gotta write a poem, huh? I don't know if this mod has routes or anything, honestly. I also don't know if I can actually access the save screen. I don't think I want to try. We'll just do the thing I usually do with poem games, these mods, and I'll mash on through for the first time. And we'll just see what happens when we get there.
We sit in silence for a while. The only noise is the sound of pencils scraping on paper. Eventually, though, everyone finishes. I see Sayori and Natsuki exchange poems. I glance down at my own poem. Where is my mind?
Adventure, broken, calm, sadness, depression, forgive, together, heartbeat, jump, whisper, peace. Is it actually the words I picked? Because that's kind of amazing. Peace, vertigo, portrait, afterimage, whirlwind, sorrow, and eternity. Yeah, I have no idea if those were the words I picked or not. I wasn't exactly focusing.
Wait a second, what is this? It's nonsense, just a bunch of words. I didn't write this. Where is my mind? It had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it right. My small handle shakes, creaks, and then falls away. And I fall with it. Back down, 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 back into the box. Dented, scratched, marked by tooth and nail. To fight so hard, yet still to return, I saw everything through the hole in the box. The hole that showed me freedom, the hole that showed me peace. Yet now the hole, too, is gone. A fog covers it all. The gray. It won't stop. It won't stop. I know what I saw, but I can't see it. Not anymore. I'm pretty proud of this poem. It's certainly better than the one I wrote in the school hall, anyways. Oop. I look over at Yuri. She seems to be waiting for me to make the first move. Are you ready to share, Yuri? Yes, I am. I have to say, once Yuri suggested this, I wasn't sure. But writing this was quite cathartic. Given the circumstances, it was nice to put my thoughts on somewhere concrete. Yeah, I actually agree. Yuri hands me her poem. A burden in my hand.
Reading Gary's font.
I hold a heavy weight in my hands, a stone of heavy granite and marble, threatening to pull me down. The weight is familiar, even comforting, but the ground to which it beckons is dark. It is cold and unfamiliar. I do not know what I see or where I am. Up is down, left is right, and the air is thick with more stones, more granite and marble to weigh upon me. I want to reach out and touch them, to take more in my hands and feel the familiar weight, but they would pull me further to where I do not know and do not belong. I must resist. I will resist. I have to resist. I like this, Yuri. It's got a lot of your trademark imagery. Thank you. I quite enjoyed yours as well. I had a feeling that everyone would be writing about the same thing, so I decided to be a little more expressive than usual. But I still couldn't resist a little bit of imagery. Yuri grins a bit. I find myself smiling back. This whole situation is a nightmare. None of us should even be here right now. But still, it's oddly refreshing having them around again. In a weird, painful, guilty sort of way.